Hello guys, and welcome to our next behind the scenes interview for Dr. Hammer's English 143 film class. I'm joined with Elise and Ricky today, and they're going to talk to us about their film. So Ricky, we were talking before we started the interview, you guys wanted to do like a thriller trailer, right? Something cool like that. We haven't had a group do something like this before, so can you explain the thought process going into that and what we're going to have to look forward to on this film?
So what we wanted to touch upon was like the fear of becoming an adult, graduating, being a senior, having to start looking for a job, filling out I-9 forms, just like the adult stuff that everyone doesn't want to deal with once they graduate. So we wanted to do this as a thriller trailer because as a film it would just be kind of bland, boring, and as a thriller trailer we could throw in a lot of sound effects that, you know, would just add to the effect of the energy of just being scared of becoming an adult. And I mean, I'm not a senior personally. I was the main actor, which is kind of ironic, but everyone else in my group is a senior. So I mean, she knows a lot about graduating. I mean,
we tried to use the cinematography a lot to like display the anxiousness and the tenseness of becoming a senior and not understanding what adulting is like and what adulthood is like, because college doesn't really teach you that. So we tried to use camera angles, and like we filmed on a lot of dark and rainy days to like portray the sadness that all of us seniors feel right before graduation.
I'm sure, and being a senior myself, I'm definitely gonna be invested watching this, I'm sure. So is this film gonna center on multiple people, or are we gonna have one person going through, you know, this change, you know, coming towards the end of their college journey and getting ready to prepare themselves for the real world?
Well, we start off Ricky's our main actor, so we have a couple of other characters. Like I play the his girlfriend in the show. That's our second plot line. We have Sam, another group member, is his mom. So we have a couple other characters, but it's centrally focused on him not knowing what graduation is, discovering graduation, and then having to come to terms with what he's about to go through. So we focus on his journey from not knowing anything, doing his research, and then freaking out.
Oh, awesome.
and obviously most of it is naturally setting.
Yeah.
UNC, so we just have backgrounds of people walking throughout campus, and it kind of just adds to the real effect of like becoming an adult.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Ricky, what was that like, you know, being not a senior and playing a role of someone, you know, especially with your group full of seniors who are, you know, graduating, they're going off, you know, they have to get ready for the future pretty quickly with pretty much one semester off. What was that like for you, saying, wow, this is going to be me in a few years? You know, probably not trying to think about it that much. But.
So when it really hit me was when we were filming at the Old Well, and they gave me a graduation cap and gown, and we were actually trying to figure out which way was the front and which way was the back. And then it really hit me that, wow, I'm only a sophomore, but they were just talking about how fast it really goes. So, I mean, it kind of just added to the energy that I had to portray in the way I acted, because I started to actually feel like this is going to fly by, this is going to be me in 2.5 years, and it really hit me. It's kind of scary to think about.
He said, like, when he put the gown on, oh, this is making me sad. I was like, well, it's making us really sad. Like,
exactly.
We're about to do this, and you have 2 whole years to come to terms, but it's interesting.
No, absolutely. So we're definitely gonna see an arc in Ricky's character, I'm guessing, throughout.
Sure.
So what's that change gonna look like? I'm sure, you know, we've pretty much touched on it, but is he gonna be, you know, is this story gonna have kind of a happy ending, or is it gonna be a sad ending, or is it gonna be more of a coming to terms ending with how he's gonna change throughout this
Well,
film?
since it's a trailer, we tried not to, like, give away the ending too much.
Okay.
It's kind of ambiguous.
Oh, awesome.
We have, like, we don't know what's going to happen with the next, sort of at the end.
Just
with
like real life, though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
you
like
have
real
no
life.
idea.
So, yeah.
Life's a gamble, and that's how we portrayed it.
Yeah.
That's how we portrayed it. Oh no, that's fantastic. So, what were some big things you guys did, like, cinematographically? I know you had the backdrop on canvas, but do you have a lot of like wide shots or close-up shots that convey like emotion that Ricky's feeling, or is there like shots that showcase like all of you and see like the quad, like you're talking about like, oh, this is just a big place, but it's about to get even bigger once I graduate?
So all credit to our J School guy, Blake, our
Really?
techie.
Okay.
He's pretty good with the film. He works obviously on the broadcasting stuff at UNC, so he has all the equipment. But we were able to get some really cool shots with the equipment he has. Like we took one, I don't really give it away, but we took one really cool shot at Kenan Stadium.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was basically just me in the stadium, and we're just like crazy like sound effects, and it just really embellishes on the fact that like they're gonna be graduating in Kenan Stadium, and when it's just me alone in there, just like I don't know, it just adds to the effect. That
He definitely also did a lot of close-up shots, like to show the emotion in Ricky's face, like a lot of like sad emotions, like up into his eyes, like circling around him. So, a very good mix of like the big bad wide world, and then focusing on Ricky's face and his emotions.
So one thing I want to ask is we've learned a lot of different techniques in Dr. Hammer's class on, what necessarily makes a good film, and that necessarily may not be, having a happy ending or having some things, but it's the ability to incorporate many film terms in a way that, is very satisfying. What was your favorite thing you guys took from Dr. Hammer's class, and how did you use that during filming, to make your film?
I definitely liked using cinematography to drive the film along, and having Blake, who has a lot of experience with it. I think that's definitely going to be one of the driving factors of our trailer, because we were able to employ a lot of different cinematographic techniques. Like we did angles, like low angles, and then we did zooming out, and then we actually had scenes where we had multiple cameras, so that in the actual trailer itself, it'll show different angles of the same scene. And I think that's pretty cool, and it adds to like the natural effect of the trailer itself.
Definitely the acting is not going to be the best, because none of us are actors.
I'm not the best actor.
I'm terrible, so like having that layered on top of the bad acting is going to like make it a good film, even though maybe we aren't the most talented with script writing or dialogue. So I think that's going to be a real strength of our film.
That's fantastic. And in closing, guys, what's one thing you guys are going to take away big time from this class, or from this filmmaking, being able to make your own film now? What's one thing that you're going to be just like, okay, I'll remember that for a while?
I think I'm going to take away a real understanding of what goes into making a film. Like, we go to the movies, we watch a film, and we're like, wow, that was terrible. But in reality, those people worked so hard on it to make it good, and the effort it takes and the coordination that it takes, it's taken us a lot of coordination to like make this work. So just a real appreciation for the filmmaking process is what I'm definitely going to take out of it. I don't know what you're going to take.
I agree with Elise too. I mean, I've never appreciated a film so much than after making my own, because I never realized, I knew it was hard to make a film, but even making a 3-minute trailer is just so challenging, and so much goes into it, and we probably recorded over 3 hours for a 3-minute trailer. And it just baffles me how much work goes into it.
Especially with like editing and everything. He has to do so much work. Like, he's good at it and it doesn't take him that long, but me looking at his screen, seeing all the things he's layered over top of things, and like the way he's cut it, I was just like, how do you learn to do that? How do you have the time to do that? So we really appreciate him and the ability to like learn what he does and how he does it.
Fantastic. Well, that's all the time we have, guys. Thank you so much for meeting with me. Really looking forward to it, especially as a senior. I'm probably going to get a little emotional watching it, because that's almost here. But thank you guys so much, and it's it for this interview. Tune into the next one.